You want to give people as many outs as possible. Um, you hear cops talk about this. I've seen a few undercover cop videos, or sorry, interviews. They talk about this kind of stuff in terms of, I guess, them feeling confident about an arrest they're going to make for a lot of different reasons. Confident about the fact that they didn't do this guy dirty, so to speak. Confident about the fact that the charges are going to stick. But I mean, for you, as an individual, as a man particularly, even as a woman to some extent, you want to give people as many outs when it comes to confrontation as you possibly can. So that, for a lot of reasons also, but mainly for yourself, so that if things reach that point, you could call it a boiling point, that highest point of escalation, you're doing this for yourself. In a fight, particularly a physical one, things like skill. I mean, skill comes to mind first, but things like size, speed, conditioning, all that stuff. Certainly, skill. Skill is probably at a pretty close to the top of the list. It's not at the top necessarily. I mean, it just depends on the circumstances. Like I said, circumstances change everything. A fight on the street is not like a fight where you get referees with whistles who are gonna, keep the other guy from continuing to pummel you. It's nothing against these guys, boxers or UFC fighters, right? Nothing against them, but some of them don't know what a real fight is, if we're being frank. Some of them don't know what it is to be in a fight for your life. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to sound cool here. It's a fact. The bells, the ding, 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 that guy in the black and white stripes that can tell one of you to stop and probably get other people to make sure you stop if you don't want to. That makes a difference. All this stuff matters, right? Conditioning, skill, size, speed, whatever. Flexibility, agility, maneuverability. I think, and I mentioned the number one component. I really firmly, myself, I believe, and if you have an argument against this, you're free to have that. But the other stuff, right? The training, the size, the speed, the agility, maneuverability, all that just kind of adds to this component, which is an unshakable confidence or will. If you're the bigger guy, you're going to be a little more cocky, a little more confident. If you're the faster guy, that's going to add some points. If you've got, if you know what you're doing, you got a little more training. If you're able to kind of move around and maneuver and you have intelligence in that sense, you're able to size up the situation and be in the right position at the right times. All of that is going to make you a more confident individual. But it's that confidence, really, that unshakability. When you're backed into a corner, when you're in a situation that you can do nothing about, and that hopefully you didn't do anything to get yourself into, or you tried, you made every effort to get yourself out of it, the amount of second guessing involved, no matter how well trained you are, no matter how fast, no matter how strong, how big, the amount of the amount of second guessing you're going to be doing, the amount of considerations is going to be close to zero. You're in it. You made every effort possible so that there's no room for that anymore in your mind. You're not taking an instant to consider what you could have done differently, what you could have avoided doing. You're not taking an instant to consider any of that stuff, to doubt yourself. You're in it now. And whether you like it or not, you're probably in it to the death. unless you can incapacitate the other guy, you're going to die trying. And hopefully that's all you're going to do to him, you know? Hopefully you've got the composure and the presence of mind to not go beyond that. I would hope. I would really hope so.